This next comic was dubbed the Mom in the Miniskirt and hosted the OMG spot. Please give it up for Maggie Hyde.
Oh gosh, I gotta get this thing on, huh? Not ever very good with condoms. I am so excited to be here. You guys have no idea. Yeah, I'm Maggie Hyde. I don't know about you guys, but the pandemic has been overwhelming for me. I've been dealing with a little PTSD and a 10-year-old with ADHD that never stops doing cartwheels. In case you were wondering, not a good combination. And my family's way of helping was to intervene and send me to what I like to call a sober summer camp. Yeah, an intervention is the perfect way to end a year like this, right? I was super pissed. I mean, still super pissed. And after a couple of weeks of making bracelets and talking about myself and massages, I was like, please don't make me go home. But seriously, I'm so happy to be here. I'm like on vacation from hell. Yes, that's right, because I'm a single mom. Yes, thank you, Bobby. You know what's hard about being a parent, you guys? You have to pretend to enjoy all those things your kids enjoy. Like kids' birthday parties, play dates, their father. But I do surprisingly well on dating apps, and I think it's because my profile says that I don't want kids. And then they find out it's because I have 4. Yes, I know 4 sounds like a lot, and it is, but I love being a mom. And you know what they say about having kids? It's a lot like making pancakes. The first one's kind of fucked up. Probably should have thrown it away. A lot of first pancakes out there, I see. Yeah, throw it away. But I think it's more like eating pancakes. You always regret having your 4th one. Yeah, I hope she didn't hear that one. But recently, my first pancake heard that joke, and she was not happy. She disinvited me from her wedding, y'all. Yeah, I know. And I was like, honey, you're so young. You don't understand. You don't get redos of these special days in your life like a wedding. Unless you're me. And then you get a couple. Yeah, that's right. I've been married twice. You can actually get worse at something. I think I might get the Academy Award for worse. Yeah, marriage. Yeah. I try to give young people advice, like even my daughter, like, don't spend all this money on one day, like on a big wedding. Save that money, for a down payment on a house, a great vacation, a divorce. Yeah, good advice. My youngest, during this time, has really craved structure and rules. So the other day she came up to me and she told me that she wanted me to have a swear jar. And I was like, I'll pay you $20 to shut the fuck up about the swear jar. And she was like, how about 80? And I was like, I have taught you some fucking things. Yeah, it's even changed the way I parent my older kids. I used to say to my 19-year-old son, when are you gonna stop smoking weed? And now I'm like, when are you gonna come over with weed? Yeah, it's fun. Fuck. I've been in rehab, y'all. I'm doing this sober. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Being forced to go to rehab is not fun, but and then I'm like, well, maybe that's the only way mom gets a vacation. For fuck's sake. Yeah, we used to all just like sit down to dinner and say grace. Now we just say fuck it. My personal mantra. My youngest, the 10-year-old, the one doing the cartwheel, she just lost a tooth. And you know what, y'all? I don't think she believes in the tooth fairy anymore. I think she's faking it. But it's kind of sweet, right? I mean, she's pretending to believe in the tooth fairy, and I'm pretending that her TikTok dances are innocent. Well, you know what? In my defense, I said no to TikTok forever until like the 1000th cartwheel, and then I was like, here, go do it. Yeah. You know what? There was one silver lining to me from this, like the early pandemic. You know, I didn't have to lie to my daughter about why I didn't want to take her to Disneyland anymore. You know, if you're a parent in Southern California and you can afford to go and you don't want to take your kids, you're like the Grinch or something. I mean, Disneyland's like some spiritual journey for kids in Southern California. But so I used to tell her, but she's getting a little old for it, that the park was in Massachusetts. Yeah. But I think the real reason that I hate Disneyland is that the rides remind me of a map of all my failed relationships. Like Splash Mountain ride, it reminds me of all my hookups. Never as wet as I wanted to be. Fuck, I wish there weren't any pictures. And the Small World ride, I want to be tortured go on that ride, reminds me of divorce. You're in the dark, it takes forever, and at the end of the day I'm just stuck with a bunch of singing children. I can still hear them. It's a world of lawyers, a world of tears, it's a world of secrets and wasted years. There's so much that we share that it's time to beware. Why did I ask for full custody? Did you know they don't serve alcohol at Disneyland? You would if you were a parent. Yeah, you know, they try to sell California Adventure as like this separate theme park, but it's really just a bar for grown-ups. I mean, we would go there if it was just a tire swing and a keg. This part of my set was brought to you by Knott's Berry Farm. They have to have booze because they only have Snoopy. Yeah, yo. Oh, you've been there. You know, I'm on the wrong side of 30 and 40. Yeah, but I have learned a few things. You know, I can tell you guys the best pickup line for a woman over 40. Let me see your ID. That's how I ended up sleeping with 6 cashiers from Trader Joe's. What? I love a man in a Hawaiian shirt. How about you, Holly?
Absolutely.
Oh, it's so hot. It's so hot. You know, when I go out with guys these days, they'll always say to me, "You look so hot for your age." And that's a backhanded compliment. You know, I know a backhanded compliment when I hear one, and it doesn't bother me because I'm from the South. You know, we're world champions at the backhanded compliment down there. And when I still lived in Memphis, I'd be at the grocery store at like 11 a.m. and I'd run into a dear, dear friend, and she'd be like, "Margaret, darling, I'm so glad to see you up so early for a drunk." I just let it roll off my shoulders, and then I'd sleep with her husband. Oh, yeah. You know, my girlfriends and I, we talk about the divorce diet. When one of us gets divorced, we lose 10 pounds, we look and feel so much better. I don't think the same is true for guys. I mean, after divorce, they look really sad. And I think it's because they don't have kind of the same emotional support from their guy friends. I mean, I can't see guys sitting around like, "Bro, she was totally dimming your light. Let's go on a cleanse and take a pole dancing class." Dude, it is so empowering. Maybe Chris has guy friends who do that.
I would do it.
Take a pole dancing class with me. I don't know. I don't think I'd be very good at it. I think I need a lot of lessons. But you know, at the end of my last marriage, I was willing to do anything to save it. I learned to cook, I went to therapy, I even took a class on how to give a great blowjob. And it's not that I learned anything that technical, but I did learn that the secret to giving a great blowjob is pretending you like doing it. So I guess it was more of an acting class. Yeah, but you know what? On every woman's dating journey, you know, you're bound to hit a couple of snags. And what I mean by snag is super new age guy. You know who that guy is, you guys? The guy in your yoga class with the man bun and the Om tattoo and the crystal bracelet. The best thing about dating these guys is borrowing their jewelry. And they're pretty fun, I don't know, to cry and masturbate with. Pretty fun. But you know what? Recently, pre-rehab, I met a guy the old-fashioned way, drunk at a bar while I was out with one of his friends. It was great. You know, I was feeling like we really might be getting through COVID, you know. But you know, my boyfriend recently saw me cry for the first time. And we learned a lot. He learned that I'm really emotional, and I learned that he's not my boyfriend. Gosh, it's hard. I think guys a lot of times will complain about gold diggers and stuff, but I think that they really like to know their role in the relationship. I was dating a really wealthy guy, and he found out that I wasn't using him for his money, and he was like, "You're using me for love? Gross." But you know what? I did say I was on the dating apps, and I have been, and I really am always surprised by unsolicited dick pics. I mean, they don't turn me on, but they do cheer me up. A lot. And I've seen some really creative ones. I mean, I have seen dicks photographed next to wine bottles and salad tongs. But by far my favorite was a dick photographed next to a bottle of Lysol. Like, ooh, big and clean. Yeah, that guy was ahead of the times, yeah. Like the audacity of guys. They will ask you to send them just about anything. And you do, because if you don't, they will find someone who will. I mean, it starts out with an innocent selfie, and it ends with a clit pic and your social security number. Oh my goodness. You can tell by that I haven't been the most conventional mom, right? Yeah. But I really did believe in, even as a single mom, to try to, talk to my kids about sex. Sometimes I was successful and sometimes I wasn't. But when my older son was in 11th grade, I walked in and overheard him telling his younger brother that he should never go down on a girl. And as a mom, a woman, a feminist, I was horrified. So I took him into the kitchen, I sat him down, and I educated him. I pulled out the computer and showed him some YouTube videos, instructional ones. They probably shouldn't have been videos of me. But my heart was in the right place. His girlfriends have thanked me. But seriously, I learned a lot because when my older daughter was a teenager, I walked in on her having sex with her boyfriend. And I was shocked. I didn't even know she knew what sex was. Let alone reverse cowgirl. I guess the apple doesn't fuck far from the tree. But really another blessing of the pandemic was, I didn't have to have an excuse why I didn't want to do dating apps or dating at all, because I didn't want to worry about COVID and herpes at the same time. Yeah, but I really, really hate dating apps because they've really turned people into the equivalent of fast food. They're not good for you, but they're hot and available right now. And, this one guy I dated, he was just like Chick-fil-A. Warm, delicious, but my gay friends were not having it. And this other guy, he was just like Subway, a foot long, but kind of weird with my kid. No Carrot fans out there? Come on. And the last guy, he was truly a happy meal. He left a smile on my face. But the toy was the best part. Yeah. Yeah, toys. Speaking of toys, at my sober summer camp, they take away all toys and all fun. They even took away my electric toothbrush. Apparently that can be used as a vibrator. Do you guys know that? I mean, do you want to brush your teeth and your clit with the same thing? I'm not a fan. Yeah, I'm not a fan. And I told this joke at rehab, and the lady who runs it was there, and I was like, and she was laughing so hard, and I said, well, does that mean you're going to give me my toy back? And she blushed and ran out of the room. And I thought she was going to use it. That was super fun. Yeah. I think I'm so excited to be here, Bobby. More excited than ever because you create the best shows and the best environment, right, you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you just curate such amazing stuff. That's why I wasn't sure how I made the cut, but I am very, 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 very grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Great having you. Very funny.
Keep it going for Maggie Hyde.